Okay guys, so let's do something a little different. I have this little part-time store, and one of the bows that I sell are these bows called the Snake. Anyhow, they're made out of carbon fiber, probably by PSE. They come from France. I sell them for $69, Anyhow, this guy Joe wants one. So it's like a $69 bow, and he's like, give me a deal. Give me good price. Give me good price. Just tighten up the knock a bit, Cash, cash, no tax, cash, no tax. Well, you hear it over and over again, Good price. And it's like you're going to sell it for $40. So the guy goes, give me good price. So you say, okay, $35. Oh, $34. It's never enough discount. Oh, look at the chip. Oh. It's just nonsense, A goose, Really. You take good care of people and they want more. Give me good price. Give me good price. Cash. Cash. Yeah. No tax. Anyhow, it's a nice little bow, and a lot nicer than most customers. Anyhow, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, guys. How you doing? How are you doing? You feel okay? The occipital, I pivot it right on my thumb until that arrow just goes straight. It's remarkable how good it works. Honesty is the best policy, unless you're lying for your life. Just let that right hand pull the left run on. Yeah, one time years ago, I was dealing with Huck Spaulding Enterprises down in the States. Huck Spaulding was a manufacturer of, the biggest manufacturer of tattoo guns in the world at that time, until the Chinese took over. But anyhow, I was selling tattoo guns for Huck in my store. And this time I made an order for some Spaulding lightweights, which were really good machines. And anyhow, I ordered one, and they sent me two. And on my next order, when I called it in, I said that you had made a mistake and that you sent me two instead of one. So on my next order, charge me for the one that you accidentally sent to me. That made a good impression on Huck, because years later, a guy named Crazy Ace went down to the States, and he took Huck out to dinner, with his wife and everything like that. And he was asking them for the Canadian contract. He was trying to knock me off. And Huck looked at him and said, Gary's got the contract. That's what honesty does for you, okay? Stuff like that. Spot on. That's what honesty did for me. It's like millions of dollars. And when you're an honest guy and an honest shooter, wango tango, you'll get your hits. And old Huck's spirit still loves me. Back in a minute. Okay, guys. If I think about what is the very most important part of archery, my archery technique, I would say it's strength. Strength. That's really where it all stems from. Strength in the fingers. You know, that's right in the center, so what am I going to do, you know? Right across the center. Okay, that's it, you know? Listen, you've got to be stronger than your bow. All my accuracy comes from radiating, you know, radiusing my fingers so that the arrow changes position. I get into the occipital. I simply relax my hand until the arrow starts pointing at the target, and I just adjust the aim with my left. Simple as that. Try doing it. But anyhow, hand crushers, or just squeezing a ball. It's all up here. Squeeze a ball. Use hand crushers. Squeeze something. It makes you strong. You need those fingers to have the power to control that string. You know? Just simple push-ups. Great, great archery exercise. You don't need the $1,000 machine. Get down and do some push-ups. Kiss the ground. It'll make you really strong. And a curl, any kind of a curl, you know, take a milk container and curl it, whatever, you know, but a little curl, a little pushy, a little, and you could be as good as they get. So I would say that that's the simple truth right there. That's the most important thing that I've ever found, more than standing this way and standing that way and putting your shoulder here and holding your head there and using one eye or two eyes or squinting, you know, all this kind of stuff, right? Oh, it's the back muscles. Oh, sure. Just like Gertrude the Seagull. Jackie Gleason's show about 50 years ago. But anyhow, beyond all the joking and all the types of you know, split finger and 3 under and thumb and everything, really, that's all secondary stuff. Strength, simple strength to pull that bow, to hold it on your anchor, to be able to control your hands under the pressure. That's more important than all the different styles. Anyhow, I've said it enough. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Okay, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so anyhow, that's what you have to do. That will make you strong. Then you can pull the bow. Control those hands. Okay, boys. By example. Okay, my friends. And it is kind of like friends, electronic friends or YouTube friends. I've come to realize that some of you are letting me know that you watch not so much for archery, but you just find it entertaining or interesting. That's interesting. So, seeing that you're interested in other parts of me, old pictures and old stories and things like that, I'll start to entertain these ideas, how I can, yeah, entertain you, tell you stuff, because that's what you're interested in. And I see that some of you are trying to send gifts, small gifts, to me, and I really appreciate that. I hope that we get this PayPal thing together, and I'll just start posting it and see what we can pick up on. But we can have a good time, I guess, doing other things, talking about ideas or all this kind of stuff. So that's what we'll start to do a little bit, keep people entertained, see how it goes. But I just stopped this one here because, you know, that's good enough, you know. The things that I'm teaching you about archery, they do work. Strength is important. Back in a minute. Okay, guys, so we'll take a couple of shots here with our little pellet gun, our 177. It's just a hobby, you know. When I was a kid, there used to be fairs, little carnivals used to travel around, and I can remember quite often, like in Crank Plaza and places like that, they would set up, and they'd have little shooting booths. They had like a little 22 shorts. You'd never find that today. Are you kidding? Yeah, shooting was very popular. Think more about the target, less about talking. But yeah, it's really changed quite a bit, quite a bit. These are little tiny things, only big enough to knock your eye out. Just put a little squeeze on the trigger. Not even really a squeeze, but just so that it's solid, you know, so that when you do shoot, you don't jerk. There's no need to hold the gun hard in the front hand. You can just let it sit on the hand like it was sitting on a post. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that guns are frowned upon so much, because really it's a great sport activity, and there's many levels to it, you know. And even the Olympics, you know, where kids are skiing and then they get down and shoot the 22, that takes great athleticism. But instead, because of a bunch of little punks running around shooting each other with illegal imported guns, all the regular Canadians are being punished. government is a very foolish government, very whimsical, and they've destroyed our culture, basically. So, anyhow, that's a little bit of fun. This gun is actually made in China, you know, very reasonably priced, very nice little sight, and it's kind of just fun. I used to shoot IPSC, where we would always be shooting at human-like targets, but it's all just for training. So anyhow, this is a little touch of that, but let's see what we did here. So, there's a hit, there's a hit, there's a hit, there's a hit. There's lots of little hits here. Okay. So much for the hits. Back in a minute. Okay, guys, so yeah, I see that some of you just enjoy stories. Things that I wouldn't even think were interesting, maybe you do find interesting. Come on. Dead center, and the whole thing fell on the floor. You can't even see it. That's in there. Yeah, the first tattoo I did for free on a friend. It was just sort of a scratchy thing. Touched up a little tattoo he had. He was a real good friend. Yeah, Jim Connon was his name. Anyhow, I touched up this tattoo for Jim, but then a kid came down the street a couple of days later, and again I had been practicing on oranges and stuff like that, so a knock comes to the door, and there's this kid standing there, said, "You do tattoos?" Because I'd made a little sign on a piece of plywood and stuck it over my door, you know. So anyhow, I said, "Yep." So he came into the little basement entrance and sat down at a little kids table that I had. And I did a little tiny eagle on the guy. So, you know, I'm scratching away there and putting this little eagle on him, about this big. And I get it done, and he looks at me and he says, "What do you want for it?" And I was at a loss, you know. I sort of thought, and I said, $3. And the kid pulled out $3 and gave it to me. That's when they had single-dollar bills. You could do that. And he left, you know. And I pulled out the $3 that I had made, and I looked at it, you know, and I said, "I've really got something here." And that was the beginning of the story. But anyhow, the little red thing fell down, and it was a real nice hit on it, but it fell down behind there. But then I took a couple of shots, and you can see, real nice and tight. So that's all you got to do, you know. That's all you have to do. I'll tell you some stories. Okay. Anyhow, I think that should be enough for tonight, eh? Okay. Have a good night, boys. Talk to you later. Bye now.